Good morning. We got a new Chinese tool in the shop thanks to Amazon. We got an injector cleaner slash checker. I'm pretty stoked on that. We just need it. We have a bunch of stock R34 injectors we can test, we can sell them, we can give them to customers when they need them, who knows. But also if we have a brand new injector that gets stuck or is weird, we can throw it in there. There's an ultrasonic cleaner and the injector cleaner is one piece. Before we get into today's video, I want to shout out Tom Hesser Nissan. Curtis drove all the way here for some show and dropped off some parts. So we have two R34 steering racks, an S13 SR shroud, and a transmission. And what we're doing is we're swapping the plugs in TJ's car and we're gonna go for a ride. But quickly, I wanna go over this car, even though we've done it a million times. I wanna talk about what we're changing, and I wanna talk about just the whole setup, because you guys don't know, and there was some misinformation being kind of spread. So we've got an HKS 2.8 in a fine spec engine with a Nismo plenum, HKS 2530s, Nismo intercooler piping, Nismo front mount, etc. The mods don't really matter. OS Geek and triple disc, etc., etc. When this car raced Adam, the all-wheel drive was working. TJ decided not to tell him to kind of sandbag him in the race, and now there's a ton of misinformation being spread. We got the all-wheel drive working, what would you say, 15 minutes before the race, if that? 20 minutes before the race, the all-wheel drive started working. We had to swap a couple parts. The all-wheel drive had never worked in this car. If you watch TJ's early video, all the lights are on the dash. So we fixed all that, and the car all-wheel drive is spot on now. We got to do a couple more little tune, pulls, tests, logs, send it to Jack, make sure everything's perfectly dialed. So we don't want this to go to California without being perfectly dialed, and we have to change some stuff. One of the biggest things we'll be changing is this ugly AN hose we borrowed from Grant, and some other little things in the bay. We also got new reverse lights and a rear fog lamp for the car. We have to put those on, fix the wing a little bit, change the angle on the wing. Just very minor things, but the car will be here for at least another week or two, and we'll be able to fully dial it so that TJ doesn't have any issues. But this is gonna be my first drive with the murder tune in kill mode, and I'm gonna be rowing. Alex is gonna be shook at the end of this, but he's gonna have the laptop, make sure everything's good. Jack will be remoting in, shout out Jack, and we're gonna get this thing just perfect. All right, so it's about to be the first drive. We're putting another 5 gallons of gas in, not gas, ethanol, fuel, and this is gonna be my first drive in the car. Don't know what to expect. I know it's gnarly. I did some pulls when we were tuning and stuff, but the all-wheel drive wasn't working, so when I do second gear, it would just haze the tires. When I do third gear, it would start to haze the tires, and it's just not the same experience. So I want a third gear straight pull, like 4,000 to 8,000, and that will tell me all I need to know about this car. I'm certain it's a 10-second car. I actually, off camera, ran it with the Turbo S in Mexico on a closed highway, and I ran this car with the Turbo S up to about 157. It was like 160 miles an hour, and my Turbo S door was at his wheel, so I was basically sitting here, so the front bumper, you know, it was like a half a car. I could still see TJ clearly, like I was right next to him. This car is definitely fast in the Turbo S, but having to shift is what kills it. I wouldn't say I was starting to come back. This car actually seemed like it was getting faster and faster the faster we'd go. The thing with the Turbo S is it's still like small turbos. It's stock, besides an exhaust. So it's not gonna have the top end of of this car being a 2.8 with the larger turbos. This thing should start to incrementally get faster as we go. But it was cool to see second gear in the Turbo S all the way up to 160 with this car. So it's clearly a 10-second car. We're gonna take it out, and I'll get my impressions. This is pretty much the same setup that's going in my 33, so I'm really interested to feel it and see it and experience it, just because I'm gonna be living it pretty soon, and I wanna make sure I'm making the right decision. So the only thing different about my 33 is I'll have different gearing. He still has the 355s in. We may be changing it to the 411s, but my 33 is gonna stay 411s. So let's go for a ride and see how she does. Such a good start, such a good dialed build. What I didn't mention is that when we send these engines to the machine shop, we sent the sheet, the data sheet from my HKS crate motor to the machine shop. So they match the crate motor, my crate motor, because HKS gives you all the data, specs when we build 2.8s. It's not quite an HKS build, but we match the specs perfectly. So, you know, use that information however you want. Anyway, we're gonna throw the laptop on, make sure everything's working as it should. We've got probably another couple days of just dialing out any little gremlin to make sure TJ, prima donna TJ doesn't have any issues, but never know. So we gotta put some miles on it. All right, I'm gonna do a little second up the hill, just see if everything's Gucci. Quick up the hill run, but it is fucking fast. I don't know if I didn't rev second gear. I don't know if there's just not enough load, but I dropped a little out of boost on the 2.3. Did you feel it?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't go high enough. I don't trust these tacks. They seem a little slow. So usually when I see it past 75, that's when I begin the shift, because hitting limiter is so slow. It just like it just kills you. Sometimes hitting limiter it works, but maybe I gotta do 2, touch limiter 3 to not get it to fall out of boost. That's what it seems like anyway. We should also remove the bulb for the Hikis light. That would be cool. We don't have that shit anymore.
Yeah.
Hikis is for weenies. The drivability is fucking phenomenal. We did alignment. We did a toe plate front and rear, but obviously.
Oh, it feels great in the passenger seat.
Yeah, it feels good. Just like going down the road, feels solid. Fucking car idles beautiful. Like this thing is just dialed. One thing I'll never get over though is the lack of dual mass flywheel noise. They just chunk and click, and I heard somebody concerned with the noise it was making, like they had never heard
That's a move.
That is a move. Like they had never heard a twin disc before. This guy was trying the same shit. You gotta feel a brake boost in this, and you gotta listen. The way it builds boost is so fucking insane. Listen to this.
Jesus.
Shots you.
That's gnarly.
Like, I've never heard it build like that, right? Like where it's like stages, like and then it like is ready to go. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but you heard it, right?
Oh yeah.
It's fucking nuts.
It just loads up so good.
Up, and it's probably hitting like 20 pounds of boost when we go.
God, it just shoves you into the back of the seat like crazy. Flying. Oh my god.
So sick. So we'll do a like 1, 2, 3 if I can when we turn around.
Okay.
And then, I mean, I'm pretty, well, once we get a couple little things good, I'd like to get everything working on the MFD, which is tough with it. I mean, I'm not gonna get exhaust temp or anything, but
yeah,
just tough with the aftermarket sensors and ECU, but should pretty much be a heads-up display for the ECU.
Yeah, I mean, we can put the stock boost.
Yeah, I'd like to get the boost one on there. Yeah. And then just oil temp. That one's always a pain in the ass, oil temp. Not quite good at the rev matching in this thing yet. That one's okay. It's tough. I'm not gonna launch it, just roll first, second, third. I'll let that car get some space. Maybe I'll brake boost it first gear. So this thing is absolutely fucking mental. One thing that I am still, I wouldn't say I'm experiencing to a fault, but you can actually audibly hear it. I'm not revving it to 8600 that we have the rev limiter set to. Obviously you didn't hear rev limiter. I am dropping out of boost like maybe not to zero or to vacuum, but it is dropping quite a few PSI before I get back onto the throttle. What I know will fix that, or what I know will make that different, is going to the 411s. I think in reality, like this car for TJ, the perfect setup would be a set of Tomei 369s. They make an aftermarket ring and pinion setup for the front and rear. I think it would keep all the positives of the long gears and get rid of all the negatives, and you wouldn't pick up the negatives of like maybe a 411 setup. For the roads I drive and the style of driving I do, I'd even consider going to 430s, but living in California, hitting the highways, and the canyons are a little more higher speed, I think a 370 would be prime, even a 390. If we could figure out a 390, I think that would be amazing, but I'm gonna talk TJ, see if he wants to go to the 411s. Like I said, he'll pick up a lot more gearing speed, but he's gonna lose that like long gear drivability, highway style, and I honestly think that's more TJ style than the really short shift a ton. But anyway, I'm super stoked. I'm super stoked to know that my 33 will possibly surpass this in the style of driving I want to do. And I would say anyone who argues 2530s, a 2.8 and a step 2 VCAM just hasn't driven enough good Skylines, because this thing feels fucking insane. I know you guys can't experience it through the camera, but you got to experience a little bit when he raced Adam, and I think today the last video, or maybe the race video, goes up for TJ while you guys are watching this, or after you guys watch this. That gives you a good feel for what the car can do. I mean, also racing my Turbo S, clearly it wasn't on camera, but I'm not lying. The way that this kept up and beat my Turbo S it's pretty fucking impressive. We're talking about a 2013 Porsche with some crazy technology, including the PDK transmission, which basically adds like 100 horsepower to the car, and this thing still was beating it. So I don't know, I'm super stoked on this car. I think it's our best work we've done yet. It's one of my favorite cars we built. I would say my second. I like Adam's 32, and I like that midnight purple that we did the GTSS's on, but this car just fucks, and TJ's so happy with it, and it sounds right, and it looks perfect. I don't know. Either way, put in the comments what you guys think. Put in the comments what you think we can improve on. There's a couple changes that I suggested TJ make, like the catch can, possibly even the intakes. They're working, they're fine, but they were more of like an afterthought accessory and to get us on the road. In a perfect world, this thing would have a carbon Nismo airbox and just some final tweaks. But I think it's also could be driven like this for the rest of TJ's life, and you would never have an issue. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are stoked on this, and stay tuned, because pretty soon, over the next 30 days, I'll be digging into the 33 and getting that done, and possibly shipping it out to Cali to rip with the boys. So get excited for that, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.